Pop Chords A-List Electric Guitarist is an easy-to-use rhythm guitar instrument for Reason. Now, of course, rhythm guitar is not something you automatically associate with MIDI and computers. But this module actually makes it easy to get complex performances and get great control over your guitar parts from a MIDI keyboard. It actually offers a lot of creative freedom, so you can control the key, tempo, the style, the strumming pattern, the chord voicing, the guitar tone, the effects, and more. And you can do most of this by just holding down one or two MIDI keys. The really clever thing is that you can use more than one MIDI key to control different chord voicings. So you can see using this little virtual keyboard at the bottom here that on the left we have a bunch of triggers for standard phrases. In the center, this key range here controls style phrases, and C4 and above controls the chord. So if I press C4, it plays a chord loop based on the tempo of my project. And if I was to use these other triggers, I could change the playback style of that chord. So for example, if I use this trigger, or I could use a different trigger. And if I use the latch control, I can actually make the instrument stay on without me having to hold my chord trigger. But what I can do is if I hold down more than one key in this area on the right here, I can actually change chords, and I can also change the voicing of my chords. And if you use different keyboard voicings, you can actually get quite creative with this. So I could say I wanted to play an F, but then I could start to play around with different variations on F. So you can mix and match different playing styles using firstly the chord selection and variation keys up here, and also the phrase triggers down here. Now, as well as that, you've also got a fair amount of sound control here. If I just create a little loop by switching latch on, I can add swing. I can change the feel. I can change the guitar source. I can choose to use drop D tuning. Change the amount of crunch. Change the amp type. I've got variable grit, as well as some simple effects. If I spin the module around, you can see, as well as some simple CV inputs here, you also are able to take a raw output from the module, which bypasses the amp section, and you also are able to turn on a full chord set, which, as you can see here, adds a further selection of slightly more complicated chords. And you can see that I've currently got improved chord recognition switched on, which is why it was behaving really nicely with my chords. I'll show you a little bit more about how this works in the next video.